Uh, Good morning, everybody. It's Alec Drew here from the Virtual Business Owners Network, and our presentation today is from Sue Landsberg, who's an executive coach and mindfulness trainer. The title of today's presentation is Communicate to Connect, and the objective of this is to become more aware of how we communicate and the impact it has on us and others, and secondly, learn a quick and easy technique to support more effective mindful communication. The outcome Sue would like to have from this is more positive relationships, lower stress levels, and more effective meetings. So, without further ado, Sue, I shall ask you to take it over from here.
Thank you, Alec, and hi, everybody from a sunny Galway. Could I share my screen, please?
You can indeed, Sue. There you go.
Okay, great. There, can everybody see that?
Yep. Yep,
Awesome.
good.
Awesome. So great to meet you. Alec has given a great introduction, and it's great to be here with you all today. How often have you said something that you regret, or rather wish you had articulated something differently? Or maybe you didn't say anything at all. All of this is or can result in the breakdown in communication with an individual or a group, resulting in a disconnect in a relationship. And all of this can be very difficult to backtrack from. Today, I'm going to share with you a quick and easy technique that can support you to communicate more effectively, build and maintain positive and healthy relationships, which we know is fundamental to our health, our well-being, and our growth. So thank you for joining me today. And without further ado, let's dive in. This picture, all right, what am I communicating to you in this picture? Well, within seconds, we have, and without words, we communicate loudly and clearly. Our body language, our facial expression, eye contact, they all say so much before we even say a word, and they impact your listener. What here am I communicating to you? Well, it's okay, because I've heard it all before. It could be anything from over the top, way too energetic, absolutely fake, inauthentic, or motivating, highly energized, inspirational. It all depends on your perception. What about the person who has already judged as this being fake or inauthentic? What's going to happen? They're going to disconnect and disengage and tune out of what is being said. Or the person who finds that image, that presence motivating and inspiring, they're going to actively listen and take so much more away from the presentation. It's also important to be aware here as the presenter or the speaker, to be aware of your body language and what you're bringing into the session, knowing that it impacts you and the people who are listening. So we may need to prime ourselves, which is the technique I will be sharing with you, to set ourselves up for a more effective, more successful conversation. So we may need to dial up or dial down the energy, depending on who our audience is and what we want to convey and the circumstance. And how does that make you feel when you walk into a room and you have somebody with this expression, noting how not just this expression, but equally the opposite, someone who is very low key, low motivation, low energy, noting how this behavior, this body language makes you feel. So we are all social engagement systems, meaning that my energy impacts you and yours impacts me, giving us the ability to create what's called the group think or the group stink. You'll all have walked into a room where you have experienced, again without words, how a person, their energy, how they are coming across. And you'll either be drawn to that person or want to avoid that person. When have you walked into a room and been really drawn to a person? What is it about them that drew you to them? Again, here we're just creating awareness of the impact we have on others without even speaking a word. How we communicate can either open or close the door to more connected, collaborative conversations within groups or within teams. And this goes personally and professionally. Who do you know within the workplace who you can connect easily with, who you just seem to get on with them? What is it about them? What is it about them that makes them easy to get on with? What else contributes to effective or ineffective communication? It can be our words, the words that we use, the tone of our voice. We mentioned our body language. Whether a person interrupts all the time, or are they an active listener? Maybe you are the person who interrupts all the time. After all, we are humans who operate on autopilot. From the moment we get up in the morning, we shower, we dress, we eat our breakfast. We do all of these things on autopilot. It's an automatic behavior, as is communication. But would it benefit us to take a step back and really consider how we are communicating and the effect it's having on us and others around us? Have you ever considered what gets in the way of you being able to communicate effectively? I'm sure we all have a time and or occasion that we can recall. That could be lack of confidence, feeling stressed, feeling overpowered by other personalities in the room. You may be in a male or a female dominated environment. You may just be really busy and distracted and not be able to verbalize and articulate clearly what you want to say. It could also be that you had a late night out and you've had lack of sleep and you're just not up to it. What could have helped you in that circumstance? Knowing your triggers and becoming aware of what gets in the way of effective communication is a great starting point, seeing how you can better support yourself to communicate more effectively. So let's look at what we can do. We can use this quick, easy, and effective technique called PRIME to set ourselves up for more successful and effective communication. You may like to take note of this, or you can always replay back to follow. PRIME. I am inviting you to take 2 minutes before you enter into a new environment, transition to another meeting, to practice the PRIME technique. So priming is preparing and tuning yourself into what's going on right now. The pause. Become more present in what's going on right here, right now, bringing your mind back to the present, not what's going to happen in an hour, not what happened earlier this morning. Remembering what's important now. That pause will create a space, a transition between where you were and where you are going to. Relax. Slow, deep, calm breathing techniques where you have a longer exhale is the quickest and most effective way to calm and relax your nervous system. Heightened emotions, the chemicals from heightened emotions stay in our system for 90 seconds. It's us holding on to those emotions that prolongs potential, you could say, suffering, or bringing unnecessary emotional baggage into new situations. So when we relax our nervous system, we have a much greater chance of communicating more effectively. When we integrate, so people communicate differently. We have three brains: head, heart, and gut. Some people communicate with the head brain, some more with the heart brain, and others with the gut. Recognizing and tuning into how the other person communicates and communicating with them and engaging in the conversation on that level will enable you to connect more quickly and more deeply with the person you're speaking to. Mindset. What do I need to believe? What do I need to think for a positive engagement and a more favorable outcome from this conversation? And lastly, engage. Can you engage in a way where you are more curious, more open? You have an attitude of curiosity, where you ask questions, you listen to understand rather than interrupt, to have your voice heard. When people are heard, they feel more supported, more motivated, and of course, more fulfilled. The more you practice this, the quicker it will become a habit. I'm inviting you to consider integrating this practice into your day. So how would practicing this prime technique impact you? How would it support you? It has been proven through research that it benefits your well-being, your stress levels. You feel happier and you have less conflict and more effective, happier, fulfilling, and deeper relationships. Thank you for listening to my short presentation, and I loved connecting with you today.
Thank you very much, Sue. Well done, well presented, and I'm sure people will have some questions for you. If you just bear with me 1 minute, I'll just pause the recording and stop it there.